book for this month is really a hearty book. It's called Anatomy of the Soul by Dr. Curt Thompson. And what he says about it, the surprising connections between neuroscience and spiritual practices that can transform your life and relationship. This spring, one of the recent National Geographic is on the brain. The brain is being talked about everywhere you go. And what we are discovering about how the brain can change. But why would that be important for us in reading this? Because it changes our life. And let me just share just one small thing out of here with you from from a story that Curt Thompson tells about his mother who is dying and his experience of deeply listening to her story and of it changing his life in a way that he was a new person. So as he was making the 6-hour drive to the hospital to see his mother, he had time to think about a workshop he'd been on by a man, Dr. Daniel Siegel, who has done a lot of discoveries in neuroscience, and saw that the ways we attach were particularly helping people. In particularly, he said that an important part of the way people change, not just their experiences, but also their brains, is through the process of telling their stories to an empathetic listener. When a person tells his or her story and is truly heard and understood, both he or she and the listener undergo actual changes in their brain circuitry. They feel a greater sense of emotional and relational connection, decreased anxiety, and greater awareness of and compassion for others' suffering. Using the language of neuroscience, Dr. Siegel labeled the change as increased integration. Well, those of us who are involved in Listen to My Life would say to you, the secret sauce is listening. It is listening with an empathetic way of listening to God with another person. We can attest to the changes that have happened. To come across a book that helps understand the embodied way of what happens in our bodies, which has been given to us in Scripture about present your bodies as a living sacrifice, be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that it takes a community. It takes a community. It takes people being listened to deeply and well. And I think what this book will do for us in discussion and dialogue with one another and in your reading it, it will help you plant more firmly, not only with an intuitive sense inside of you, but with a practical sense outside of what is really being discovered that is true. And God's truth is true in science, and it is true in the Scripture. It works together. So really, come join us and be deepened and broadened around this dialogue.